That was really loud.
That was really loud.
And today on Let's Get Classy,
What are we playing?
Destroy All Humans, which is a game about aliens.
And why are we playing?
Because I'm terrified of them.
You're a scaredy cat.
You're
a scared little girl.
I am a little girl.
In a dress.
Yeah,
with pigtails. Holding a big lollipop.
If you say so.
We're also playing because Bill Paxton died, and Bill Paxton was in Aliens. But there's no real good Aliens video game. There's a couple Aliens video games. There's the Super Nintendo one that was just, I think it was Aliens, and then there was what was the other one? Aliens Colonial Marines.
Yeah, that's the more recent one. And Isolation is a newer one, I believe, right?
We should have done that.
Well,
here we are.
Instead, we want to destroy the humans.
Well, yeah.
Which, I mean,
who doesn't?
Trump's America. Let's not get political.
Yeah. Bill Paxton's dead at 61, died from complications from surgery. And I actually looked it up because I wanted to know, a lot of actors do voice work in video games. I thought...
doo-doo.
Mature.
Potty humor.
And Bill Paxton was in one video game.
What was that?
Well, knowing what you know about Bill Paxton, his film history, Titanic, Aliens, Twister, Predator 2, what game do you think he would be in?
Did they make a Twister video game?
No. They made a Call of Duty Advanced Warfare video game.
Oh, yeah, that makes perfect sense. Why wouldn't he be in that?
And he voices a character named Khan from the Exo Zombies DLC.
Was he a criminal?
I have no idea.
Criminal named Khan, that'd be too on the nose.
Oh, like C-O-N.
Yeah, is that not... Oh, you're talking about like Khan! Like with the K.
Yes.
Okay, well then see...
Like Shao Kahn.
Shao Kahn or...
The one you screamed.
Yeah, like the Wrath.
The Star Wars. No.
That was the Trek.
Star Trek.
That was the Trek.
What's the difference?
One is good and one sucks.
Which is which?
Anyway. Star Wars is great. Trekkies be damned.
Well, speaking of Star Wars, this game was made by Pandemic Studios, which around the PS2 era and like early Xbox 360 was one of my favorite developers.
Why is that?
Because they made games like this that are just super fun. They tend to skew realism a little bit to just have things be more entertaining. And they also have a really good art style. They were real pretty when they came out. They had a lot of blurry features and like bloom effects and stuff that made it really fun to play, and it looked prettier than a lot of stuff that was similar out at the same time.
He's kind of got a Shao Kahn helmet going on there.
I think that's part of his head. I think.
Oh, he's just horny.
Well, it's funny you should say horny.
Is that funny?
Well, the whole reason we're going to Earth to destroy all humans, as the title implies,
right.
is they'll talk about it in a little bit, but back in the Furon, these are the Furons.
Okay.
This guy is a clone of somebody, and the other guy is a clone of somebody else. You are this guy on the left here, Cryptosporidium 137.
Can I call him Elvis?
No. You can call him Crypto.
Oh, okay. But I want to call him Elvis.
But we're not playing Perfect Dark.
But he looks like Elvis.
Well, he looks like the Greys, which are, what they call the aliens in the 1950s. That's the little...
That sounds racist.
I don't think so.
He looks like the Greys.
I think it's racist to call them little green men. Because they're not green, they're gray.
Nor men.
I think they're men. They're voiced by male voice actors. And one of the main problems is that they can't reproduce. Also implies manliness. As I was saying before I was rudely interrupted.
Okay, keep going.
Back
on your tangent, please.
This isn't a tangent. I'm talking about the game that's on. Shut up! These aliens, a long time ago, came to Earth.
From a galaxy far, far away.
and had
Star Wars.
I don't care. I'm moving on. You don't need to know about how the aliens had sex with all the human people and now implanted in the human brain
You said they couldn't have sex.
That not anymore, because they've cloned each other so many times that they're all inbred and their genes don't work. But there's fresh DNA implanted in each human's brainstem, and you got to go down and anal probe it out of them.
You got to anal probe it out their head.
Yes.
Oh.
You shoot them so hard with the anal probe, they run around holding their ass until their brain just explodes out their head.
Oh, that sounds terrifying.
Well, you'll see it soon enough.
I don't want to see it. I'm scared.
But we're jumping the gun a bit.
A little bit.
Well, Pandemic Studios.
Pandemic.
Also made, I'd hate to continue to talk about Star Wars.
Why?
Because, why would I hate it?
Yeah, 'cause Star Wars is great.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah,
the best thing ever.
Yeah, I guess.
But they made Battlefront!
They did, yeah. Pandemic Studios made Battlefront 1 and Battlefront 2, which were the good ones.
They were.
You had the most recent Battlefront, right?
I did, yes.
Yeah, what did you think of it?
It was Call of Duty with a Star Wars skin.
In what way?
It was just a generic first-person shooter with Star Wars backdrop, and I don't like playing games with other people.
Now, was it strictly first person, or could you be third person? Because in the Battlefront ones, it was third person, but you could be first person, but it was like really shitty. It was like being in Hitman in first person, you know?
Right. Yeah. You could change it, but it wasn't good. It's meant to be third person.
Okay. And it just, did it have that thing in Call of Duty where you have to level up and get new abilities and unlocks before you could actually have fun with it?
Yeah, so as soon as you buy the game and turn it on for the first time, you go in your arena and you're just getting your ass handed to you because you're not as good as everybody else.
Yeah, I never that's something that's become really prevalent in a lot of multiplayer first-person shooter games nowadays that I really just hate. Is the fact that it doesn't feel like it wants to give you everything. You know, in Perfect Dark, that we've talked about before, but in Perfect Dark, you had this huge option screen that could tell you everything, anything that you could possibly want to put in the multiplayer mode, you could.
Right.
And you could change any weapon you had found in the main. It wasn't sectioned off to just having to play the multiplayer game over and over and over and over and over again. If there was stuff that you were going to unlock, you unlocked it in the single player mode.
If you had an expansion pack.
Well, if you didn't have an expansion pack, then you shouldn't have been playing the game in the first place.
You could play the combat simulator without the expansion pack, but not the campaign.
Really?
Yeah. That's.
I don't know if I ever knew that.
That game shipped where you could play just combat simulator, but if you wanted to do the story, you had to have the expansion pack plugged in. Yeah.
I think it was Perfect Dark that made me buy expansion pack. Like, that was the game that I got an expansion pack for.
Right.
But I don't think I ever had it before I had an expansion pack. I remember reading that it would need the expansion pack and getting it, just on that basis because I loved GoldenEye and I knew that it would be good.
Well, the expansion pack actually came with Donkey Kong 64, and that's how I got it. It was in the same
Did
box.
Donkey Kong 64 need an expansion pack?
It was required.
Really?
Yeah. So it required to the point where the game shipped with it.
Okay, see, now I'm wondering if, because if Donkey Kong 64 needed it, then it stands to reason that Banjo-Kazooie would have needed it also.
I would assume so.
And I don't remember which one of those I had first, whether it was Perfect Dark or Banjo-Kazooie. I can't remember which one came first. But they were both rare. I would imagine Perfect Dark came first.
Yeah, I didn't think about they were both rare, so that would make sense.
All the ones we're talking about are rare games.
Yeah, because Rare was awesome back in the day.
Yeah, Rare was a good company.
I guess now you have to look to Playtonic.
Is that what they're called? Ukulele.
Playtonic.
That's coming out when? Next month, right?
Yeah, a couple weeks.
Cool.
Yeah,
I wish it was coming out tomorrow.
I do too. I think I'm gonna pre-order it maybe tomorrow.
You're not gonna go get Horizon Zero Dawn? That comes out tomorrow.
No, I'm gonna let that one kind of ride a little bit and buy it when the price goes down, probably.
It looks interesting. I've seen some videos for it now that it's about to be released, and like review videos and stuff from IGN and other similar websites. It was weird though. I watched the IGN review right before the review on IGN was an ad for Horizon Zero Dawn,
Curious.
and that just it almost. I understand that that's how they make their money, but it feels like it undercuts the journalism a little bit when you're getting an ad for the thing that's about to be reviewed, and it just looked okay. It didn't look groundbreaking. I mean, it's very pretty. It looked pretty.
It looks fantastic if you have a 4K television.
Well,
or a PlayStation 4 Pro, whatever the fuck they're calling it.
PS Pro, PS Plus. No, that's the subscription.
No. It's the PlayStation 4 Pro or Xbox Scorpio, whatever it is.
I think it's who even knows nowadays.
It's the 4.5 of both things.
Yeah. Which I guess is just the expansion pack of the new era.
Right, going back to it. But the expansion pack was free.
If you bought the right game.
If you bought the right game, yeah.
If you didn't buy that game, you could buy it probably
separately. It was like
separately.
$20. It was like $20 and you just plugged it into what you already had. You didn't have to buy a whole new system.
Yeah, and the fact that these systems just came out, too, it seems really sudden. And also, I don't even know if it was time for these systems to come out in the first place. I was still having a lot of fun with my PS3 before all this happened.
Well, I was having no fun with my Wii U when this happened.
Well, whose fault was that?
Nintendo's.
Aw.
We'll say that.
Don't blame Nintendo. They don't know any better.
Yeah, well, maybe. Apparently, I don't know any better because I still just want to give them all my money. I want to Switch.
No.
So
we've
bad.
talked about the Nintendo. We've talked about the Nintendo Switch and Zelda for like 3 records in a row, and no, I'm stopping it. No.
You can't take my identity away from me.
Let's talk about something else.
Okay.
This cop's trying to steal my spaceship. Let's talk about the game for a minute.
Oh yeah, we're talking about the game that we're playing.
Yes. We've been looking at the screen and not just randomly around the room at other things. We're downplaying it, but this game's super fun. It's what I was saying earlier about Pandemic, and it's just that they make fun games. It's got the whole 1950s Roswell theme, but you have these ridiculous weapons. It's written really tongue-in-cheek. Telekinesis in video games.
Right.
Makes me super happy.
It's not done well very often.
No, it hardly ever is. There were 3 games that I can think of.
Okay.
It's this one. This is number 1.
This is number 1.
The second one is PsyOps: The Mindgate Conspiracy. That was made by Midway.
Okay.
There was an unlockable skin in that where you could turn the main character into Scorpion. It was around the time Deadly Alliance came out, so you could run around the Scorpion holding dudes up in the air with telekinesis with one hand, and with your other hand you're holding an AK-47 and you're shooting them.
Okay.
And it's real fun. I have that if you want to play it later.
I might.
Yeah. And the third one is Second Sight. And Second Sight is basically PsyOps if it was made by the guys that made Time Splitters.
I'm actually surprised that you didn't mention Psychonauts.
I never played Psychonauts.
And also, another game you probably didn't play that did telekinesis well was The Force Unleashed.
I played parts of The Force Unleashed.
Oh my god, what's happening here?
Yeah, this is what I was telling you about earlier. And that was a little bit of a cut as I tried to prevent that from happening again. Unsuccessful. PS2 emulation is a tricky bugger. and it took a lot of work to get this game to play as smoothly as you see here, and even then,
It does look like the things from Twilight Princess, though. You're right
yeah,
about that. You told me that.
you get these every now Pandemic Studios, like I said, they really love their fancy graphics and their bloom effects and stuff, and nowadays when you're trying to use software to emulate hardware, that just confuses the shit out of it. So every now and then it looks like that. It looks like when the enemies attack in Twilight Princess and the pixels open up and the monsters crawl out. But I don't think it's too distracting.
No, it's not bad.
Ah, shit, the military's after us.
Kill them! Annihilate the military threat.
And so this is where I think you got confused. You were talking about the game that lets you abduct cows. You can't abduct anything in this game. Well, there is a mission where you do abduct somebody.
Maybe there's a different game along
But
the
you
same
do have
lines.
this right here, which is a tractor beam, and you can pick stuff up and shake it around, and look at that. That's just too much fun.
Man. Oh, yeah.
You know, there was always all that shit people were talking back in the day, all the PC Master Race people.
The PC Master Race.
Of which I now thankfully am one. But they were always talking about Half-Life 2 and its physics.
Right.
And how cool its physics engine was. And look at that. But shit, look at that right there. That's good enough.
That's physics.
I don't need anything better than that. Throw a tank, shoot it with a laser in midair. That's good old-fashioned clean American fun.
Now, is Pandemic also responsible for, there was a game where you actually played as a zombie? And you go around the city?
You're talking about Stubbs?
Is that...
That's not the name of the game, but that's Stubbs the zombie.
I think it
or
was
am
around,
I thinking
the
of the
time
Evil Dead
this.
game? Was the Evil Dead
No,
game
no, it's
the
not
one?
an Evil Dead game. It's like a zombie, like, mailman or milkman kind of thing.
I've never heard of that.
And at some point you can, like, knock your hand off and just run around as a hand across the city.
I've never heard of that in my life.
Okay, I don't
know what you're on about.
I've never played it. A friend of mine was playing it a long time ago.
Were you inebriated?
Yes.
So, are you sure that you weren't just watching them play, like, Zelda? And it was like a...
Yes, I'm sure.
A Wallmaster?
No, it wasn't a wall master. It was like a weapon you could do. You could just throw your hand out and like crawl around the city and stuff. He's like a zombie milkman.
I remember...
maybe his name was Larry. I don't know.
I remember a game where you could pick your head up. You could take your head off your body and throw it.
Maybe that was it. What was that?
I don't remember the name of it.
Uh-huh.
Well. Oh well.
Yeah.
You have your phone, you can look it up.
It's way over there.
Ah, well. That was a good story.
Move on.
If you know what game Mitchell is talking about, feel free to shut up.
We don't want to know.
We don't care. We'll have forgotten about it by then. Did you see that the Shadow of Mordor is getting a sequel?
I didn't.
Yeah, well, you weren't supposed to.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yesterday, or the day before yesterday, whenever, Target accidentally tweeted out that Shadow of War in a picture.
Okay. Shadow of War. That could be anything.
Well, it was the cover of the game, and it had the main guy from Shadow of Mordor and the orcs and shit behind him. And it was the cover, like... But Middle-earth Shadow of War is the title.
Okay.
Which, coming after Shadow of Mordor, seems even less creative.
A little bit.
Shadow of Mordor, sequel, Shadow of War. Next is just going to be Shadow. Or...
I played a little bit of Shadow of Mordor.
Did you?
Yeah. I could not get into it.
Why not?
I like Lord of the Rings just like everybody else.
I don't know if everybody likes Lord of the Rings.
Well,
I mean, they're okay. They're sure are drawn out. My problem more is with J.R.R. Tolkien as a person. It seems really full of yourself to invent a language and then write books to justify it.
Well.
Not that I haven't done worse.
My problem that there is no real. It throws you in, and it's got some cool ideas, but the story is there isn't one to me.
Are you sure you just didn't play it long enough?
Well, that could be also. I just didn't really play it.
Just didn't give it a chance.
No, I didn't. I'm bad about picking up games and just stopping them prematurely. I I'm sorry about my voice. I have the seasonal allergies.
The seasonal allergies.
They're not really.
That's allergies that you get from like garlic and cumin and stuff.
Yeah. I have to be real careful what I cook.
Yeah, you put a little bit of rosemary on there and you're stuffed up for months. I'm
no,
sure people are allergic to seasonings. That's not something to joke about.
No.
Food allergy is not a laughing matter.
I'm not laughing. Are you laughing?
No one is laughing.
Because this is just not funny.
Sit in it. No, I think allergies are stupid. I'm not allergic to anything, and I have a little part of me that I've never been able to get rid of that thinks that when people are allergic to something, it means they're weaker. Does that offend you, being allergic to things?
A little bit.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, you're not.
Nah.
Don't act like you are. Don't act like you care.
Fuck humans.
I don't like pollen. I don't like animals. Even though I have.
Even though you live in South Georgia and have 2 dogs.
Yeah, that's right. Cats are worse than dogs to me.
Well, cats are worse than dogs to everybody intelligent.
I really hope so.
Whoa!
And dairy products.
I forgot about that while I was making my speech.
Pollen, pet dander, and dairy products. They kill me. All of them.
So, just like a cow with a flower in its mouth living in your house would just murder you.
Oh, I'm dead.
You walk in, like if you heard a knock on the door and you opened it and there was a cow with a bouquet of flowers in his mouth and a couple bees buzzing around.
Well, the cow itself would be okay, but if I drink his milk.
Well, if you had a cow, how could you not drink his milk?
Rather.
Well, if you want to drink his milk, if that's the way you want to go. I think that's called cow yogurt.
Oh yeah. Nutritious.
Yeah. Moving on.
This is taking a weird turn. Let's talk about something else.
Let's talk about something else. What games have you been playing recently then?
I have been playing a game called Hue.
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 Is that like Hugh Laurie or like the color?
It's like the color Z with an S. It's plural. The hues.
You said it was called Hue, though.
It is, yes.
So it's just one color.
No,
Which color is it?
It's a spectrum of colors. You got green, you got yellow, you got red, you got orange, you got blue, you got light blue.
Are those different player characters or different levels?
You travel the world and you have a color wheel, a spectrum of colors that you have to manipulate in all these rooms to interact with obstacles and make boxes disappear and appear in regards to the color that you have in the background. And it's a real mind-bending, puzzling thing.
So it's a paint by numbers game.
No.
Sounds a lot like a paint by numbers game.
It's not paint by numbers.
You rotate the wheel like you're trying to unlock a combination lock and change the background color.
Yeah, but you have to do that like on the fly as you're running and do it to.
So it is still like it's not just a puzzle. It's an actual game too.
Yeah, it's a game.
There's like you got to run and jump on things.
Yeah. The mechanic is when you have.
Walk me through it. Walk me through a level and paint me a picture with your words.
Oh my goddamn.
He's everybody's goddamn.
It's difficult. Say you're walking through this pathway, and there's a red box blocking your way. Then you take your right stick and you move your color wheel to the red setting, and that makes the entire background red, and the red box disappears, and you can walk past it. But then right in front of it, there's a green box, and you have to make that. You have to change the color to green, but you have to make sure you're past the red box, because if you're not past the red box, then you'll get blocked by the red box, but you can't get past the green box either.
So that once you make something the same color as something else, you can pass through it, but it doesn't. It's not like when you're on Microsoft Paint, and to use your same analogy, you have a hallway with a red box and a green box in front of you. So then you switch to your secondary paint color, you make it red, you take the black background, you click red on it, the red box disappears, you can go forward. But then there's a green box in your way. So if I was to change the background to green in the Microsoft Paint analogy, everything would be green because the red is incorporated with the background.
Yeah, but
now.
then the red box comes back.
See, that's where they get you.
Yeah.
Taxes, man.
Yeah.
Well, that actually sounds pretty interesting.
Yeah, but it compounds on itself.
Yeah.
And gets more and more difficult, and you can play it for 30 minutes, and your head feels like it's gonna explode.
Now, is there any times when you have to actually like use your color wheel in to combine different wheel colors that are on your wheel to make new colors,
No.
or are all the colors you need are on the wheel already?
Right. And
is it how many spaces, like how many different shades of colors are there?
6 to 8. I'm trying to visualize.
So it's like all like up to the tertiary colors, I guess that would be.
It goes green, light blue, blue, purple, pink, down to.
Yeah, that sounds like tertiary colors. I don't know. I don't want to be too specific about it because I don't know all the colors off the top of my head, and I would hate to be wrong on the internet because
Oh yeah, they'll tell you.
God forbid. So I think the color blurple is there.
Yeah, blurple is definitely there.
And orange. And violet or green.
It's a very fascinating game. I'm also playing a game called Citizens of Earth, which has been out for a very long time.
Citizens of Earth.
Citizens of Earth.
I have no idea what that is. Stop smacking your lips.
I'm sorry, but you go around and you transverse the world as the vice president of Earth.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna gloss right over that.
Okay.
How did Earth become a one government?
It's not really explained.
You know, there's a lot of people that think that that's where we're gonna move, is to one central Earth government. Pretty much all science fiction, if you go forward enough into the future, imagines that it's inevitable that we form one world government.
And that's how we fight the bug aliens.
What bug aliens? Are there bug aliens in this game?
In the Super Troopers there are.
I'm talking about real life.
Oh, okay. I'm talking about this game.
Well.
And this movie, Super Troopers. Not Super Troopers, Starship Troopers. Excuse me.
Yeah, dumbass.
With the Rico's Roughnecks.
What about the game?
Okay, the game. It's real similar to Earthbound. It's a, real humorous RPG.
Are you saying that it's pixelated and isometric and
it's not
RPG?
It's not pixelated. It is cartoony, and you.
What generation? You said it's an old game. What generation did it come out? Like what year?
The last generation.
Okay, so it's a
Yeah,
PS3 game that you're playing.
I could have bought it on my Nintendo Wii, but I didn't.
Okay. Well, what are you playing? You're playing it on your PS4.
PS4. I got it on sale for $5.
Something that was on the Wii U and the PS4.
No, it was on the Nintendo Wii.
Nintendo Wii. Yeah, I misheard.
Yeah, it's last generation.
Okay.
But you essentially walk around the town. The vice president of the world recruits everybody and anybody in the town to fight for him instead of fighting himself. You control the vice president in the overworld, but when you're fighting, you fight as the people you recruit.
Right. Who are you fighting?
You're
the vice president of Earth, so who's the enemy?
Protesters.
You like physically fight protesters?
I have fought protesters. I have fought crazy bumblebees. I have fought um, weird alien baristas who are trying to take over the local moon bucks.
Sure.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah,
Clever. Like that really famous coffee shop.
right. It's some
Saturn money.
yeah, yes, something spacey.
Yeah.
Um,
Jupiter bills.
Jupiter Bills. Yeah. The last thing I did was
Comet cash. I could go on.
destroy the moonbucks essentially.
I don't know.
Yeah. Um, I haven't gotten very far in it. I've been playing it for 2 days,
Okay.
but it's fun. You're turn based. You're typical. You eat buns for health, and donuts, baked goods, and sushi rolls apparently, and that's enough of that.
That sounds dumb. I mean, it sounds interesting,
It,
but the way you're describing it makes it sound dumb.
it's real funny. You
I-
asked
I
you
would-
asked you
I
asked
would-
me to describe these things, and you know I'm not good at describing them.
Well, yeah, but one of our topics is games that you've been playing because for some reason you've been playing a lot of different types of games this week.
Alright, well, okay.
So what else have you been playing?
That's pretty much it.
Oh, I thought there was more.
Well, I started playing Mafia 3.
Yeah, Mafia 3. How was that?
I borrowed it from my brother, and I played through the intro section of it. And then he said he wanted it back, and I got frustrated and just deleted the whole damn thing off of my PlayStation. So now I can't go back.
Well, you could just do the intro part again.
It took a while.
How long was the intro?
Yeah, it was like an hour that I played
Really?
through. Yeah.
I don't like that.
And the game still didn't open up to me.
See, and that's stuff that I don't like a lot about a lot of games nowadays is that it does seem like it takes well, I guess not even nowadays. That's a lot of open world games. Is they do take a while to really get into it. You know, I've
Right.
been playing a lot of Bully on the PS2 recently because I never got to play it when it came out, and I recently found it for like $5 at a store, so I bought it. And it is it's really fun, and there's a lot of really cool stuff. And it's not so much that I don't know. I don't want to say anything bad about it because I'm really enjoying it.
This girl's not wearing any clothes.
Oh, she's wearing some clothes. It's a dress, a short dress for sure.
Yeah.
Well,
Is that why you're giving her the probe?
no, she was chosen because she was the stupidest person in town,
Oh.
and
Is that why she went grabbing at her crotch just now?
no, she enjoys the way that the look. Don't make me describe what's going on screen at the moment. This was a terrible time to start referencing the game. Ah, Crypto. You can't hate you with your murderous intentions and your 50s mentality on
I'm just saying
female people.
that was awkward.
Well, it's over now. Thanks for making us all sit through it together.
Oh, that's what I'm here for.
What was I talking about?
I don't fucking know.
Cool.
You act like I listen to you.
Go fuck yourself.
I might.
Ugh. What?
What?
So in other news, a lot of good alien-related news this week, which is why I chose this game. NASA had just found that new star system.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, right?
Yeah. When we use up our world, which will be in like the next couple years, we can move on.
Yeah, well, you know, we can't really until we figure out a way to travel that kind of distance. It takes it's 37 light years away.
Okay.
Which means that, you know, if we could travel at the speed of light, it would take us 37 years. We can't even get close to traveling that fast at current speeds. But it is interesting. There are 7 planets in the solar system, and it orbits around a small dwarf star.
Trappist.
Yeah, TRAPPIST-1.
TRAPPIST-1.
Yeah. And 3 of the 7 planets are in the habitable zone for that star.
Okay.
And that means that they could, potentially have life on them. They're the size, they're the right size in the right spot, at the right time to potentially produce water and maybe life. And that's really interesting for a lot of reasons.
So we gotta go and ransack the place.
No, I think that would probably be a bad move.
Mm.
That's what you would do. Well, here let me pose a hypothetical question to you. If you were say that the light speed problem was unimportant, you had ships that could do warp jumps, or there was some sort of Stargate or whatever. If you were the person that decided what the plan was to explore these 3 new planets, what plan would you have? Like, what would you do, Mitchell, to secure the future of the human race? And how would you use these 3 planets?
Well, I don't really know. I mean, obviously, we need to start making preparations to send our probes out to see what's going on out there.
Now, just to clarify, do you mean probes like little unmanned space drones, or do you mean like the way that I've been probing some of these people here?
Well, the first thing that needs to happen is...
Let me just demonstrate real fast. Let me probe a guy. There he goes. He runs off, grabbing his ass, and his brain explodes.
What?
Yes. Yeah,
you got 25 DNA.
We're 35 minutes in. That's the first time Mitchell's looked at the screen to see me anal probing somebody.
Is that not the first time that's happened?
No. That's happened plenty before here.
I mean, we've got to put our feelers out to figure out what's going on out here in the TRAPPIST-1 system. And we
All right, so you sent the sensors off. They're transmitting back. Let's say hypothetically that they're finding some sort of radio infrared signals. That's what it can pick up. That's what you're getting back. There's some sort of radio activity going on the planets. What would be your next move?
Send a team.
Send a team? Be more specific.
We find some very brave individuals to send to see what they can find.
Now, why would they need to be brave?
Because they're not coming back.
You don't think so?
No.
Well, we've got the warp drive. We can just pop them over there, check it out, and pop them back.
You said we didn't have the warp drive.
No, I said we did. You're not even paying attention to the parameters of the question.
Well, I guess I'm not.
I don't know why we put you in command of this operation. You're fired.
Please fire me.
You're fired.
I don't want the responsibility.
You're going to die along with the rest of the circus folk.
If we could just warp over there, then let's just go check it out.
Well, what if you just pop right into space and there's a whole nother civilization there that's never seen anybody else before, and they're like, ah, shit! And then they bomb you with something that's like an atomic bomb but worse. And you dissipate, but not before getting like...
Well, don't we have an alien satellite probe out there already? Saying, hey, we've got...
You talking about the Voyager?
Is it the Voyager? It's got like light signals and blood samples and shit.
The Voyager has a number of artifacts relating to Earth and a golden record that has the human genome and our position in the solar system and everything.
Yeah, send that out.
Well, that's already out. That's been out since the 70s. You can't pull it back.
We'll make another one.
Well, a lot of people are thinking about doing that.
Yeah.
That would be really cool. I think that would be a good idea. The problem is that, again, given, going back, not hypothetically, but realistically, that takes fucking forever. And we sent the Voyager out in the 70s, and I'm not sure how far out it is, but it's still... It's not anywhere near 37 light years away.
It's up by Jupiter now, right?
No, it's past Pluto now.
Oh, is it past Pluto?
Yeah, it's past Pluto.
Oh, shit.
Um,
Hey, Pluto Old Pluto, my favorite,
Your favorite.
coming back. Coming back. They're debating again.
As to what? As to whether it's going to be a planet again?
Oh yeah, it's gonna be
Oh,
a planet
Jesus
again.
Christ. Why can't they decide?
I don't know.
What is so hard about the size of Pluto that they can't decide what to call it?
I don't think it's the size. I think it's the orbit that just keeps fucking them up.
So you're saying it's not the size of the ship, it's the motion of the ocean?
That's exactly what I'm saying. Way to pick up on that.
Yeah.
No, yeah. Pluto's back in the debate. They're gonna make it a planet again, and they should.
You think so? You think it deserves to be a planet?
Listen.
You're only saying that because you grew up with Pluto as a planet.
All right. My very educated mother just served us 9 pizzas. Without Pluto, what the fuck did she serve us?
Well, you could just come up with a different analogy.
She served us 9.
She
9 what?
Why does it have to be 9? Why couldn't she just serve you?
Because there's 9 fucking planets.
But there's not. There's 8. Say it again for me.
My very educated mother just served us 9 pizzas.
Well, then, just served us 9.
That sounds stupid.
It's like she walked out and in her hands were 8 pieces of naan bread. I don't see what's wrong with that.
My silence
Well, your silence has been noted
will tell you.
and is unappreciated.
Pluto needs to be a planet. I like Pluto. Pluto's cool.
Did you ever...
Much better than Uranus.
Boo. Have you ever gotten into Rick and Morty yet?
No.
No? Okay.
I've watched more than I had previously.
Okay, well, there is a whole episode in the first season of Rick and Morty about Pluto being a planet or not, and
No, I haven't seen that.
you would, given your previous spiel, you would really enjoy that episode, I feel like.
I imagine.
Yes. And we'll say no more about that.
Okay, I'll get back on it.
Oh, these were the radioactive cows I was telling you about. They explode when they're hit or shot or smashed against something.
It didn't take very long for his brain to explode out his butthole.
Depending on the intelligence of the person, it takes less or more time and a less charge or a stronger charge on your anal probe for them to explode.
Okay, so how do you determine who's smarter and who's not?
Oh, as stereotypical as possible.
Okay.
The
the
farmers take
farmers are
nothing
dumb.
at all. Yeah.
Farmers are stupid.
Yeah, scientists, probably about 75% to full charge.
Okay.
And soldiers, usually a full charge. Which, but they're
Soldiers
stronger,
are smarter
though.
than the scientists?
They're stronger. They have the mental strength
what
to
about
hold
the cop?
their... cop's about a 50.
Okay.
Yeah, about 50%.
So why are you running around as a ghost here?
I'm not a ghost. What I'm doing is I'm holobobbing, which is basically I'm projecting. You can press. What you do is you go up to a character and you press a certain button, and he takes the form of that person. Here, I'm just gonna smash that dude with telekinesis real quick.
And then,
Yeah, so this is a mistake, I think, if I remember right from this record. Yeah, I wasn't supposed to kill him.
Oh, really?
I was supposed to holobob him. See, I thought that I could kill him and take his form before he died really fast. Apparently not. It didn't like that too much.
How are you supposed to know?
Well, exactly. How was I supposed to know I couldn't just kill the person it told me to impersonate?
Oh, he told you to impersonate him.
Well, yeah, that was the quest.
Oh, well then, of course you can't kill him.
Well, I thought that I didn't realize he would register as dead once the anal probe hit him. I thought it would register him as dead when his brain exploded.
Well, I guess he wasn't very smart.
Well, that's true, but he did. It did give me 100 DNA from his brainstem, whereas the dumb people give 10, the slightly smarter people give 25, and the smart people give 50. He was the mayor, so he gave me 100. But that's the power of speech, and that will come up again in a minute.
Okay.
Ominous.
The power of speech.
Yes.
Okay. This game is weird.
It is, but I really like it. I know you don't like aliens.
I don't.
Why don't you like aliens? Let's talk about that. We skipped over that in the beginning.
Do we have to?
Yes, that was the whole point of doing this video. Let's face your fears. Look at this little guy.
I see him.
He can shoot a green beam that makes your brainstem explode out of your head. And you shit yourself. And he can electrocute you. And he can, like, swirl your body around with his mind powers. Why does that bother you?
Because when I was a child, I thought they were coming after me, the aliens. I did.
What gave you that idea?
There was a television show called Sightings that used to come on the TV.
I never watched that. What was it about?
It was about aliens and other strange phenomenon. It was called...
Oh, sightings.
Sightings.
You said it sightings, like house.
No,
like
sightings.
House sightings.
Did you see the show called Sightings?
See? Enunciate.
Is that more proper
Speak
for
through
you?
your pollen your pollen
I have
lungs.
allergies.
So you saw a TV show and it made you scared.
I was a child. It gave me nightmares for a very long time.
Well, when I was a child, my grandmother read me the book Taily-Po.
Okay.
Do you know the book Taily-Po?
I don't know the name Taily-Po.
Taily-Po was a small squirrel-like animal that got its tail cut off by some kid accidentally.
Okay.
And then when the kid would go to bed, he would hear, "Taily-Po, Taily-Po, where is my Taily-Po?" Or something similar. And then the squirrel murdered the kid. Or something. I don't actually remember the story very much. But I do remember being scared shitless of it when I was a kid. And to the extent that after my grandmother told me that story, I would not let my parents turn the hallway light off in our house for about a week.
Yeah.
And then I got over it, because I'm a mature adult.
Well, this was...
Even at the time, I was about, 6 years old, but in my head, I think I was reaching my mid-50s. And I had already moved on. And so then about a week later, I went to my other grandmother's house. And it was nice, to see her. And she gave me a book she had gotten at the library, and it was the same book. It was the same book, Mitchell.
Oh, damn.
And I had never seen that book. I had just been told the story. All of a sudden, there were pictures. It was quite horrible.
Yeah,
But I got over that too. Because, again, I'm not a little girl with pigtails and a lollipop.
well, I had therapy.
You had therapy?
And,
Like you had to go to somebody?
yeah.
What did you talk about? Did you talk about the aliens?
For a time, and then it ended up
Just being normal therapy?
being normal therapy.
How long did you go?
Not very long. Only a couple times, until he tried to make it seem like I was just out to, get back at my parents. Like, this isn't what the fuck is going on here.
Yeah. He made it look like you were trying to get back at your parents
Yeah.
by being scared of aliens?
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of a circuitous way of getting back at them, don't you think? Like,
Yeah. It doesn't make any
like, you bastard. I'm going to show you. I'm going to get scared of stars. Then you'll see my pain.
Which Which taught me at a young age. I guess it's good. It taught me at a young age that therapy is bullshit, and we just got to get through our own problems
I,
at our own
I agree with that
pace.
to an extent. I do feel like sometimes there are issues that it's better if you talk about them with somebody, but it should.
But do you have to pay them?
Well, if you don't have the ability to find somebody in your life that you can talk to these things about,
Okay, maybe.
like if you don't, if things are so bad that you don't have anyone you can truly trust or talk to, I can see the benefit of it. I've often thought that it might be nice to go in and talk to somebody about things, but I never have because I wouldn't trust them. Or
Right.
yeah,
There's always an ulterior motive for these people.
well, even if there isn't, I feel like I would have an ulterior motive. I would be too worried about how the therapist saw me that I wouldn't be able to be honest to him about myself,
Yeah, I don't think I could now.
Yeah, you were younger
Yeah.
then, and so it was probably easier to be like honest and open to him.
Right.
Yeah, now it would just be all lies probably.
Mm-hmm.
And then why are you? That's like somebody who pays for their own college but then doesn't go to class. What the fuck is the point?
Guilty.
Oh yeah, me too. And that's why I know not to do that again.
Right.
Because
don't go to college, kids.
Yeah, no, don't. If you take anything away
from our Let's Get Classy.
if you take anything away from our Let's Get Classy
don't go
videos,
to college.
Don't go to college. It's not worth it. It's just,
Go to college. Have discipline. Make yourself the better you that you know you can be.
Life is all about finding your own way, and
right.
and for some people, college is important. For many others, it is a waste of time, and it is not that important once you leave college in the real world. They put a lot of, just like in high school, they put a lot of emphasis on college as you need this, otherwise you can't get a job, period.
Especially now,
yeah, more so every day.
A high percentage of college graduates can't find a job in their field, period, anyway.
And they have thousands and thousands of dollars of debt that is just impossible to pay off. I was lucky enough to be able to work and go to school at the same time, and so I was able to pay for my college one semester at a time, and I still didn't finish because I ran out of money.
Yeah,
and it wasn't so much money that I ran out of; it was just energy. I could not keep driving an hour and a half between college and work every single day. It kills you after a while, and when you work and go to school, you don't sleep. Just period. You can't. There's not enough time to.
No, there isn't.
I remember when you were working and going to school, you were up until 4 a.m.
I was
every night almost.
Working the graveyard at the Subway sandwich shop. It's not fun. It's not conducive. And I got lots of bills now. And it's not fun.
So what do you do now?
I make sandwiches.
Did you finish college?
No.
Don't take our advice, kids.
I also make these YouTube videos.
Well, that being said, I went to college for English.
Yeah, you did.
And I wanted to be an English major. And I wanted to be an English major so I could write books. And then after, I think it was even during my first year in college, I started working for my local newspaper and was being paid to write articles. And then I was working for another newspaper. And then all of a sudden I got hired to do video game articles for a website that no longer exists called gaming.com, but the G was a 6, so it looked like 6 a.m.ing, which I never really liked, but they paid money. And
6 a.m.
And
I remember 6 a.m.
Yeah, and they paid me fairly okay money to talk about video games a couple times a week. And then I had a book published.
You did.
And so after all those things happened,
What was that book called?
It was called Rehab Patient Parking Only. You can buy it online at Amazon and Barnes & Noble for some amount of money. Don't buy it for the $100 or the $99. For some reason, there's a whole section on Amazon that's selling it really inflated prices. I don't know what's going on there. I'm not seeing that money. Maybe there's a weird niche that likes it. I've never figured that out. But moving on, I didn't want that plug. It's not important.
I gave it to you.
You did. It was nice. But the point is that after all those things happened, I didn't really feel like I needed to finish my English degree because all the things that I wanted to do that I was getting an English degree to do, I was already doing. And it depends on the type of job you want. Obviously,
I didn't feel like I needed to finish my sandwich degree because I was already making sandwiches.
Well, I think that you had to go to Subway University, didn't you, at least? So you had a Subway degree. You had your sandwich degree.
Let's be fair, I'm not still Subwaying.
Well, that's true. Yeah, you're at a fancy cafe now.
I'm at a fine establishment.
Yeah, a fine dining hipster, just jewel.
I do okay.
Jewel of the town.
I do all right. But I did go to Subway University.
So what did you go to college for then?
What
What did you want to be? Like when you were a little kid, what did you dream of being?
A record store owner.
And so what did you go to college for to further your dream of being a record store owner?
Business. I wanted a degree in business that would help me open a business of my own.
All right, I have an audio response.
Okay. Exactly. You don't need it.
No.
You don't
just
need
open
it.
the business. Just
Right.
have a business. You know how you start a business? You say, "Hey, this is a business now. We're going to treat this like a business." And then you have to go to the city and say, "Hey, I need a business license." If you want to take it out on your taxes.
Well, tell that to me 10 years ago.
I can't.
Well,
That man's dead now.
Yeah, me too.
What?
My dreams have also since died.
Why don't you tell everybody what we're drinking today?
We are drinking Vino.
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 Oh, no, there's a period.
Yeah, V period no.
Oh, well, isn't that clever?
Cabernet Sauvignon.
Oh, you said that well.
Yeah, I know how to talk.
Well, okay. La-di fucking da, listeners. La-di fucking da.
I went to college.
Not for English.
Apparently. Poor. And for you, sir, poor.
I'll do it myself, thank you. Oh, shit, that's the end.
Oh, man.
Well, the front label image is from the Montera Lighthouse at Half Moon Bay in Acampo, California. Thanks, Acampo.
Thanks very fucking much. I've been cursing a lot in the last half of this thing.
Why have you been cursing so much?
I think it's the Vino.
Because you're getting drunk?
Give me a clink on the microphone.
Oh, yeah. Okay. That didn't sound very clinky. Hold it from your bottom.
Let's hold it from the
Hold the
bottom.
wine glass from the bottom, then clink it.
Oh,
yeah.
that's better.
That's how the pros do it. This is my favorite city in the game, I think. It's the idyllic, like, 1950s suburb at, mid-afternoon. And, the women are repressed, the men are worried about Nixon and their jobs. This game is stereotypical in kind of like the GTA satire sense.
Okay.
That made me laugh when it happened. Hollow Bob's a tough hologram.
Those people are doing well. They got that nice fancy above ground pool in the backyard.
Oh yeah, everybody was doing well in the 50s.
Right.
We had just won a war. The economy was on the up and up. Kids were dressing nice and being respectful. You know, everybody was taking painkillers over the counter.
Yeah, that sounds nice.
Had mother's little helpers and all that.
Yeah.
But it always has that undercurrent of really creepy, like, everything's wrong.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, it,
Now we're just out in the open.
yeah, nowadays, we don't try to hide it anymore. Everybody's real open about how shitty they are. And I guess that's better. Right?
I kind of like this.
Yeah, I do too. I miss this.
Yeah.
What's the word for nostalgic for a day that you never were in?
Is there a word for that?
I'm sure there
There's
is.
gotta be. Yeah.
There's words for everything.
Okay.
The French have a word for how you feel when you leave an argument and then think of something later that you should have said.
Oh.
Yeah, you didn't know that?
I know it happens a lot.
Well, do you know what the term is?
No.
The spirit de escalier.
That sounds nice.
Yeah, its translation is the spirit of the staircase, and it's when you're walking downstairs and you think of what you should have said when you were upstairs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
That's nice. I like that.
yeah, I do too.
Yeah. Look at
No
them.
context, it's just something that I know.
Look at them ladies dancing over there,
Oh yeah, this was a weird quest.
and the men too.
The game is doing everything in its power to make you want to attack everybody in this pool party, but there is an option to distract the mayor and implant a little thing in his head that makes him just lead everybody away. But then right after you do this, your little boss alien here will say, "The police are after you from all the trouble you caused at the pool party. You got to get out of there." And where I very
what if
clearly
you didn't cause any trouble
I
at the
didn't.
pool
I didn't.
party?
Look, I clearly didn't. I was cool and calm and collected. I was the best cryptosporidium.
He told you to work.
Yeah, but look, the constabulary's after me, and it's only because they want to give you this new disintegration weapon.
The Destructo Ray?
Yeah, it's badass. Not gonna lie. The problem with the Destructo Ray is that if you use it, it vaporizes them completely, and you can't harvest their brain stems anymore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you need the brain stems. That's kind of the most important part here. That's the whole reason we're doing this. Because, like I said before, hundreds of years ago, we went down and had sex with a bunch of humans, and now a little tiny bit of our DNA is in every single person on the planet.
Did you say that earlier?
Well, I tried to. You kept interrupting me.
Okay. Now I understand.
Yes, an hour later.
Has it been an hour already?
It sure has. Well, yeah, it has. Look at that. I guess we're nearing the end here.
Getting close.
Well, the video goes on
The
for a
two
little bit.
sexiest words in the English language: stocks and bonds.
I told you not to read stuff out loud.
I
don't know how
I
many-
had to read that
Why?
because I wanted to know what the two sexiest words were.
You couldn't just read it in your head and
Well,
leave it there?
I wanted everybody else to know that I was reading
Everybody, oh, you're so important. Oh, look at me, Mr. Mitchell. Everybody's got to know what I'm reading. I want people to know what's on my mind.
it. They want to know.
I don't think so.
They do. Get off your fucking high horse over there.
There's no horsing around going on.
No Bojacks.
No. Can we just say that we... Fuck, I like the arguing bit. That was fun. But I also want to talk about how much I love BoJack Horseman as a show.
I didn't mean to do this.
You ruined it.
I really didn't
That
mean
was
to do
doing
this.
good. I could have gone on about you being a little douche. But BoJack Horseman is just such a good show. If you haven't watched it, you should, because it's really well written, and it has really good voice acting and stellar animation, And
And they paid for this broadcast.
oh no, they didn't. But wouldn't that be nice? I don't know. I've seen those guys do AMAs on Reddit. I don't think they have that much money.
Well,
I don't know. I mean, they probably do now.
You're plugging them real hard right now.
I sure am. I like to plug things and people. Like that guy. I plugged him. And I'm going to plug that one too. Yes! Motel Party Madness. Santa Modesta caught in the violent plug hysteria.
Oh, this is ridiculous.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.